Amane was an antisocial loser who had no friends and only found happiness in his Johnny Sins CDs. However, his whole life changes for the better when he saves the depressed girl next door with his Riz, and now she's in love with him, giving him the happiness he's been missing. They first meet when Amane is heading home from school and spots Sheena, who's just sitting there in the rain, all depressed. He thinks of walking past, but then he sees her crying and figures he can't just leave her there. So, he strolls over, pops his umbrella over her, hands her the umbrella and tells her not to get sick. The next day at school, Amane's sneezing heavily due to the rain from the other day. Then, Sheena strolls into class, and the entire room collectively loses it, swooning over her beauty like she's prime Megan Fox. Amane thinks about how the school's angel is amazing at everything she does while keeping a smile on her face, and concludes that it's impossible for an angel like her to be a depressed emo. He knows how every pathetic simps would love to date her, but unlike them, a Sigma Chad like him doesn't. Later that day, Amane drags his half-dead self back home, and to his surprise, Sheena is there, waiting for him with his umbrella. Sheena says she's just returning what's not hers and comments that he looks horrible. Amane tells her to mind her business, but Sheena claps back, saying that she has to care after he got sick trying to play knight in shining umbrella. He snatches the umbrella from her and tells her to let it go, but mid-talk, he nearly collapses. Sheena catches him like a rom-com heroine and insists she owes him one. She steps into his disaster of an apartment and immediately tells him to change his clothes, while she'll be back shortly. When Amane asks why she'd want to return to this dump, she simply says she wants to help him sleep better. Then she scampers off to her own room, leaving Amane still in disbelief at how she's living right next door. Later that night, he wakes up to find Sheena watching him. She informs him he's been passed out for 2 hours and asks if he's hungry, as she made rice porridge just for him. Amane is baffled to know that she's good at cooking too. She hands him a thermometer for him to check his own temperature, and when he lifts his shirt to check his, Sheena looks away in a flustered panic. Right there, Amane finally gets why every guy at school is simping for her cuteness. She comes back with the porridge and asks about his fever. He says it's nothing a few pills and sleep won't fix, but Sheena gives him an impromptu lesson in why health class matters. When she hands him the food, he just stares at it like a stupid donut. She teases him about needing to be spoon-fed, but he's more surprised she can cook. She shrugs and says it's basic survival when living solo and suggests that he also needs to learn how to both cook food and clean his crusty-looking room. Amane compliments her food, and she shrugs it off, saying that a one-armed dummy could make rice porridge. Then he brings up the elephant in the rain, and asks why she was sulking in the rain like a tragic character, and suggests that it's because she got dumped by her 4 boyfriends. Sheena quickly clarifies that she has no boyfriend, and her morals are not loose, so that she would clap different dudes. Amane jokes that she probably has suitors lining up, but that hits a nerve. She snaps that she's not a public toilet, and he catches the shift in her vibe and apologizes. She reveals that she was just trying to clear her head that day, and she apologizes, too, for getting him sick. He brushes it off, saying he doesn't mind, and unlike other guys, he won't be trying to milk her guilt to get her to gobble his glizzy. It surprises Sheena to what that, and she acknowledges how tiring it is that the boys around her all have a desire for her. He also adds it's kinda refreshing to know angels have bad days, but out of annoyance, she asks him not to call her that. The next school day, Itsuki is glad to see Amane healthy again and tells him to pull himself together. As they're walking, Amane spots Sheena helping classmates with math, and Itsuki casually reminds him she's out of his league. That evening, Amane is sipping a pathetic jelly for dinner on his apartment's balcony, and when Sheena sees what he's eating, she scolds him for his poor food choices. She then goes inside, telling him to wait in his room, and moments later, comes back with real food that she has left over. He thanks her, makes another joke about angelic cuisine, and she once again tells him to quit it with the angel thing. Then, while eating, he thinks about how delicious it is. The next morning, he returns her dish, and she thanks him for actually washing it. But then, to his surprise, she gives him another plate of food. He protests at her gesture, but she insists she always makes too much. He gives in and thanks her, but warns that if she keeps doing this, he might catch feelings for her. She asks if that's the case, and he coldly tells her that he doesn't, and she slams the door in his face. From that point on, Sheena keeps giving Amane her homemade cooking, and his diet miraculously improves, from what was once diarrhea-inducing junk food to now nourishing meals. At school, Amane asks Itsuki if he looks healthier, and is genuinely surprised when Itsuki says he's finally not resembling a corpse. One afternoon while shopping, Amane bumps into Shina and tells her not to get the wrong idea as he's not stalking her. She rolls her eyes and tells him to get over himself, as she knows that they're in the supermarket closest to where they both live. He notices how she's careful in using her budget, and compliments her in saving up the allowances her parents gave her. But to his confusion, she shows a tint of sadness when he says that. After shopping, Amane offers to help carry her bags. She resists, but he insists, saying she'd score more charm points by letting him. Then he walks ahead, saying they'd look awkward together anyway. Later, when she swings by his apartment to pick up the other day's container, she finds him mid-cleaning in his garbage pit of a room. When he admits he's got no clue what he's doing, Shina jumps in with a crash course in adulting. Then, determined to wage war on the mess, they begin Operation Cleanup. At the start, they manage to clean the room smoothly, but partway through, Shina slips, and Amane catches her in a very convenient position. She scolds him for letting his apartment turn into a health hazard, which caused her to fall. He apologizes, and they keep cleaning, but deep down, Shina feels her heart pounding. After they finish cleaning, feeling exhausted, Amane suggests they order pizza. It amazes her to see takeout pizza for the first time, and Shina admits she's never had it, as her family's too elite for takeout. As she digs in, she tells Amane to stop staring, and he fires back at her, saying she has zero charms. However, he expresses how he likes this casual version of her more than the stiff, perfect one from school. She says she's always been like this deep down. Amane tells her she can chill around him, and she says she can't when his eyes are doing stuff to her. Before leaving, Amane asks why she keeps feeding him every day. She claims that she just likes preparing food for other people, and it makes her happy to know that Amane is eating quality food instead of his usual junk food. She adds that, unlike other dudes, Amane doesn't catch feelings towards her actions, which she enjoys. She goes to her room, and Amane draws the conclusion that she holds no feelings for him. Some days later, Amane stumbles across Shina parked on her lonesome and naturally asks what she's doing by herself. She casually throws out a nothing, but Amane's not buying it. His detective senses tingle when he sees her outfit covered in fur and injuries, and he asks her if she's been cuddling a tiger. Shina confesses that she just climbed a tree to rescue a cat and failed. Amane, playing the part of reluctant hero, tells her to hold still and shows up moments later with a med kit like some sort of overprepared Boy Scout. He orders her to take off her tights, and Shina asks him if he's off his drugs to ask her that. So he tosses her his jacket and clarifies that no, this isn't a ploy. He just doesn't want her knee to swell like a balloon. While she hesitantly accepts, he turns away while she sorts herself out, and appreciates that he doesn't try to peek. Then, after wrapping her ankle with surprising finesse, she mutters that maybe he's not entirely useless. Amane accepts this backhanded compliment like it's the Nobel Peace Prize. He then hands her some oversized sweats and a hoodie, and when asked what for, he explains that it's for her to disguise her celebrity identity while he carries her back. Then, as he carries her home, she